so here's some of the things the author thinking of Gantz.
Because I knew there'd be more shit after I finished the last videos blathering about Gantz. It was like 2 or so. Shit, I lost track of my editing any of these. My house is still a mess, so my body's falling apart and I'm dying. So at the end of Gantz, you find out that people die and actually have souls that like go to another dimension. Another dimension. So what happens when you like revive somebody that's already revived and now there's 2 of them? Or somebody tried to kill themselves in Minecraft and didn't die and they get a revival clone meat thing. Like where's their soul coming from? Is it just a copy of the data? Do they not have souls? Because when the alien god thing was talking about Kurono being reborn as like the son of Reika, I think it was, with Kishimoto being like his sister. In that situation, Kishimoto and Kurono were both clones. So what about the originals? Maybe real Kurono will be like Tei's son or grandma. Speaking of clothes, I forgot to mention the dude inside the Gantz balls. Almost said guts. Because it's also very dark. It's all just like one dude. They're clones of some weird bald alien looking man, but it's just a guy. Each ball is just a clone of a guy. Some of them have stupid humor. Sometimes the Gantz ball that they deal with speaks in like internet speak from like the early 2000s. Other times he's more mature. Like after a while he seemed to be mature and less insulting and racist and homophobic and more just like an actual game AI thing. And then towards the end he like fucking like dies mentally and becomes an idiot again. Do they all talk like that? Do they have souls? I don't know how that works. For some reason the god aliens were like just huge on saying there is no god. I think because they were like so powerful and able to just clone things and unclone them and knew about souls that could tap into that soul data universe place and just blow people up into meat piles whenever they wanted. And I guess they just decided that means there's no god because they're that powerful, and they kept telling the humans this, and the humans were like crying and getting sad. But there still could be. Maybe they got made. You never know. I remember when that atheist dude that likes to argue about atheism and then Ben Stein were arguing about whether or not there was intelligent design. But Ben Stein tried to be like, well, how do you know we weren't made by other aliens? And the atheist dude was like, well, I guess we could have been. And then Ben Stein's like, ha, I got you, intelligent design. But that's not what you were arguing. You're trying to say God made us. You fuck, you can't do that. What do they call that? Right? I don't know what they call that. Send up. What the fuck happened to Akira? Kurono Akira. What happened to him? That was the brother of Gantzman, Kurono Gantzman. What the fuck happened to him? Well, I mean, I know what happened to him, but like, why? He became a vampire, and it's his turn that introduces the whole vampire society and explains them, kind of. It's not really said how he became one. He just started changing. Like, he noticed he couldn't really go out during the day anymore, I guess. And there's this girl he was trying to save who was getting like captured and was going to be used for food, and she ends up becoming like another vampire's partner, and that vampire ends up presenting Akira's head to Kurono later, like right before the vampire kills Kurono, when he's like living his life without his memories for a while after winning the game. But like, yeah, Akira just kind of existed to somewhat explain the vampire's origins. But how did he become one? Did somebody inject him with nanomachines? When? Then are they just like moving around in society infecting people? That's a problem. Is there more? Like, did that just stop? Most of the vampires died to Izumi, I think is his name. If people are just turning like that, who's to say it's done? I mean, whatever. The vampires kind of help at the end and then just fuck off and watch Kurono fight Sephiroth alien giant man. John alien Sephirothman. Yeah, one thing I didn't really stress enough in like the last video is that like everything just seems random, but it all... Well, actually, I probably said this like 100 times. I'll say it again. It's just cool how everything is actually like tied together. Even the vampire thing, it's just some kind of experiment, I guess. It's either human technology or aliens, but they're not just like some magical creatures. The demons aren't actually just demons. They're aliens. The moving statues and shit are all aliens. Like, it's all just tied to aliens leaving a dying star system. Even the Gantz game, which you think is like some random nightmarish hell, it was started by capitalism, but the fucking German dickheads that started it got the technology from other aliens that had fought the giant aliens off and knew they were going to Earth and were like, hey, we want to protect Earth. Not the people, but the balance of the Earth itself. And also it'd just be fun to do, but we don't really give a fuck. You all could die, we don't care, but have this technology, and then people get it and use it in like a point system and are gathering people that recently died and forcing them into a game. I think they themselves were trying to get rid of the aliens, but there was also people bidding on it around the world. I already said, I think. And they cloned some bald man and shoved one in each ball, and they made all the weapons and shit too. And then other Gantz people are the ones that kind of, there's like different factions of people taking over the weaponry to use against the giant aliens, because the rich people were kind of capturing people and forcing them back into the game and putting bombs back in their heads and shit. But then there were like other factions that were also trying to fight that, I don't know. It's weird. Not entirely. You know, it's just more stuff that isn't really explained. All the rich people, though, are like sitting in a hotel room and get fucking nuked by suicide bomb bug things that the aliens kept using. Because, you know, their fucking world was nightmarish. Actually, their world ship thing looked a lot like human society, but they had a bunch of fucking terrifying monsters and shit at their disposal. The Gantsmen had to fight like weird skeletal Kabutops looking things that their weapons weren't working on. And they also had like telekinesis and could just blow people up. I think they had to touch them actually, but the suits just weren't doing anything. Like when they fought those Greek statue aliens on that mission that never really ended. The suits meant nothing. Like they were just getting one-shotted by everything. I would like to see more about these aliens. I guess there are other Gantz mangas. Do I have to read them? I think there's like Gantz 0 and Yu-Gi-Oh! R. But yeah, it all actually tied together into a big story. Because in the beginning, when I saw the movie, I was like, what the fuck? Where's this ball from? Why is it fighting weird monster things? What are those? How does this all tie together? Is this like afterlife shit? Is it purgatory? Is it hell? Is it aliens? Demons? What? And now it all kind of, you know, doesn't really make sense. But it's all connected to aliens. It was aliens. And they're big dickheads. Nightmarish giant C-words. They're treating humans like ants, even though they clearly expressed emotion and intellect. They had a fucking society. You don't see ants building giant mechs and cities, do you? They build ant hills. Even the god aliens were like, you guys regularly killed thousands of ants as children, you arrogant pricks. Therefore, we don't care if you die. Also, we're going to explode these revived people into meat piles. So yeah, that's Gantz. I'm going to read more Gantz. I'd ramble about that more, probably. I'm so tired.